TGIF.
You're beginning already?
TGIF. Thank God it's Friday.
Yay.
Yay, we're back. Hi, everyone. Does anyone notice how often we're posting?
I think so. We've gotten some comments about it.
I've noticed.
We've noticed.
Because it's taking up all of our time.
It feels good.
It does feel good. We're happy to be back. And we're aiming to do a more consistent, like, Monday, Wednesday, Friday posting schedule.
Yeah.
And we were thinking that one of those days every week can be just a fun Q&A where we answer your questions.
We used to do Monday Grub Bag, if you've been here for a while, which was the same thing, but it was on Mondays we would answer your Grub Bag questions.
So now, I mean, today's Friday. We'll call this Friday Fun Day. Friday FunBag. Yes.
I don't know why we're doing bag. Yeah, I guess we
Because it's
don't.
like a bag of mail.
Oh, okay.
Friday FunDayBag. Friday FunBag-Day. Anyway, from now on, we will get the questions for this ongoing thing from last week's video. So if you have questions for us, put them below. Anything about our life, our work, our relationship, and we'll try to answer them next week.
Yes, and the first question that we're going to answer this week is one that we got in an interview that we did, and it's actually for you. We're not going to answer it.
I refuse to answer this one.
It was a very unique question. We hadn't gotten it before, and we answered it in the podcast interview. I think I answered it correctly. I think Shane bungled it.
I didn't. I regretted my answer.
But the question was, what is a good first video for someone to watch on your YouTube channel, you know, to dive into who you are?
Yeah, they asked us, like, what would you recommend someone that knows nothing about you?
Yeah.
Where should they begin?
So basically, we want to hear from you guys what video you think, but I said our wedding video, which is pinned on our page, like our homepage when you go to it.
And there's a reason it's pinned.
It like tells our love story, our wedding.
It's a cute video.
It's not really funny, like it's not our typical content, but it gives you a good idea of who we are.
Exactly, and I think that is one of the many possible correct answers. I gave an incorrect answer. I was like, well, what if they want to, like, what if we want them to know that we're, like, funny and weird? So I suggested that they watch our spoof of a horror movie where Hannah eats the potato chips and becomes a mutant.
No, you
or I
do.
eat them and become a mutant. Yeah.
The FDA has just announced an emergency recall on all bags of poppables produced within the last year. Shane, where are you? What is this?
It's a ridiculous movie that has nothing to do with our channel.
Yeah, and I think it's important, like, I would hope that people who've been watching us a long time would be like, haha, that's funny, but I wouldn't trust that someone who doesn't know us would come in and understand the humor of it.
Yeah, no. If I came to our channel and saw that first,
yeah,
I'm not sure I would subscribe.
No, but that was Shane's answer.
That was my answer. Then after I was like, that was wrong.
I was like, what?
It's okay. I mean, you know better than we do.
Yeah.
If you had to tell someone about our channel, where would you tell them to begin? What video?
Yeah, I like the question. It's a very
I'm
good
interested to
question.
see.
Yeah.
All right, so now let's get into your questions. We got this week's from my Instagram account.
Yeah.
I asked people what they wanted to know. We have a handful, so let's get into it.
Question number 1, any exciting projects coming up?
Yes.
Okay, next question.
That's it. Well, the answer was just no. We have one, and we've talked about it, and we've decided that now is when we will share it with the world.
Wow.
I am contracted to write my first fiction novel.
Yay.
I mean, I was imagining the applause and the fanfare. Thank you. I imagine you're all doing that as well. Funnily enough, this book deal was offered to me way back when Hannah and I got our book deal that ended up becoming Interabled, which was published earlier this year.
Yeah.
And as we were writing Interabled, I talked to the publisher and I was like, hey, I'm going to wait to dive into my first ever fiction But like once we're done with interabled, never expected that it would take us 5 years to get done. But now that interabled is written and published, it's time for me to begin writing fiction. And I am so excited for this journey because I've written fiction like for fun on my blog back in the day and just things I haven't shared publicly. But I've never written a whole book of fiction. So I'm excited.
Yeah.
It'll be a while. You know how publishing is. And you know how we are as writers. It'll be 8 years until I finish this book.
No, you've got this.
No, I'm going to do it fast. And I'm really excited. I hope you're excited. So yeah, that is our exciting project.
Yeah.
We have another one that we're working on, but we can't talk about that yet.
Oh my god. All right, which is the next
We
question?
should just pick anyone.
Does Shane wear a wedding ring?
People always ask this, and it always gives me a bit of like a little, like,
Why?
I don't know, I want people to be able to see it, and it's on my droopy finger.
There it is.
I have a wedding ring. I wear it every day. I haven't taken it off in
Ever? Like,
ever?
Since you got it on, I
Yeah,
think.
I was gonna say years.
Yeah.
Like 5 years. But yeah, the way my hands normally sit in my chair is not very visible. So we've been out with like friends and stuff, and they'll be like, Shane, you're wearing a ring. I'm like, yeah, I'm married. I've had it on since day one, so I do wear a ring, yes.
Yes, you do. And also, before we move on, we melted down my grandparents' rings. My wedding band and Shane's wedding band are
Yeah.
made from that gold. So that's special.
I forgot about that. That's so adorable.
I know. All right, if you were to choose a time of day and that time would never change, what would it be?
4 p.m.
4 p.m.
Yeah, and that's because around 4 p.m. I tend to realize that like I've gotten a lot done or I've had my day, but there's so much left. Like 4
But the
p.m.
time will never change.
Yeah, so I'm harnessing for like that feeling of like, wow,
Yeah.
I've got the rest of the day ahead of me. You know, that
I'm just trying to think of like what weather do I, like,
Yeah.
you know, if I'm outside, when do I most? I like a chilly morning, but forever?
forever you have to pick.
No.
I know it's hard.
I think if I get to say, like, is this summer? Because, like, I'm saying my initial thought is 7 p.m., but that's summer, where it's like the sun's not in your eyes anymore, but it's nice and warm outside. I'm not talking 7 p.m. in the winter where it's pitch black.
I think you're allowed to make up
Because then if
What you
if
want it to
it's
be.
all seasons and it might get dark, I'm going to go with 11 a.m.
11 a.m.
I like that time.
Final answer?
1 p.m. I hate this question.
I knew that by saying final answer, I would get her to reconsider. Hannah does not like making definitive statements.
No, I would have to put a lot more thought into it, but it's one of those times that I mentioned. What is your favorite memory together?
Aww.
Another favorite,
Oh,
or
jeez.
choice
We're
moment.
going to be here all day.
No, I'm just gonna like play it so cool.
You're so chill.
Be chill about it. Go
Wow.
ahead, you go first.
Hannah's in a positive camera and run to the other room. I was thinking about this a little bit, and while this might not be the definitive favorite of all time, I remember when, in the early days of our relationship, in the rare moments during those 2 years of long distance where I came out to visit you in Minnesota, and you were living at your parents' house, and your bedroom was upstairs.
Yeah.
And that meant that at night when we were going to bed, you like picked me up out of my chair, carried me up that flight of stairs, which was annoying that you had to do. But being in your bedroom at that house, there was something like so calming
Yeah.
and perfect about the fact that like I was with you in person again. Finally, it was usually after a stretch of being apart, and like I was cozy
Yeah.
with you in your bedroom, and it was winter.
And it was a
the
cozy.
first time. Yeah,
It was a cozy bedroom. It was like carpeted and stuff. Yeah.
yeah. So I just remember laying in that bed with you and just being like, oh, we're so happy and cozy, and it's like snowing outside, and
Yeah.
So that bedroom,
Aw.
memories of like that house and all that
Yeah.
is a favorite of mine.
Aw, and then you moved. We lived in that house for a little bit
Yeah.
after you moved.
I didn't have to live in that bedroom. We got another
No.
bedroom.
Well, we changed my mom's office into our bedroom, which was so small. We slept in a twin bed for a long time.
for
which
like
is-
6 months.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, it was still better than you having to carry me up and down the stairs every day.
Yeah, I mean, we loved we
Yeah.
were so excited to be together. We were like, twin bed is the perfect size.
That room, our bedroom was probably like 100 square feet,
Yeah, 10 by 10.
10 by 10. Yeah.
That's generous. It might not have been 10 this way.
My wheelchair and the bed barely fit in the room.
Yeah.
What's your memory, Hannah?
I think I'll go like a similar time period, but after I studied abroad in London and came back and flew to Pennsylvania, and then we had a month-long road trip.
Yeah.
And like just the first couple days of that, that feeling of like, oh my gosh, we have a month to get, like it felt like an unbelievably long amount of time. You know, because before that it had just been, I think the longest we'd been together in a row was 2 weeks, which was
Yeah.
also amazing, but just having that month like stretch in front of us. And we were driving all over the US, like that was just a really fun time.
This is a lot of emotional memories of like the feeling that like 2 weeks was a long time
Yeah.
together. Or like if we got to do an extended weekend,
Yeah.
that was worlds better than just a weekend.
Yeah,
you know?
like if I came on a Thursday instead of a Friday.
We were like 3 extra days. Oh my god! And now it's all the time. It's funny. Wow.
I know.
Aw. Maybe we should be long distance again.
That's so mean. I do think starting long distance was a good thing though. Like it really
Oh,
gave
yeah.
us an appreciation for each other.
All right, let's do one more. Okay, we picked one.
Okay. Do you want me to read it?
Yes, please. You're the reader.
Are you going back to LA?
This is a hard one to answer.
Ask us separately. Shane, are you going back to LA?
In my heart of hearts, no.
Yeah.
In my reality, trending towards probably,
Yeah.
reluctantly. We knew it would be this way, but we did not know that our house would get broken into, and that would really push me in the direction of not wanting to go back.
Yeah, because we had already been struggling with the uprooting our lives every 6 months to move, which I mean simultaneously is amazing because we're gonna like the
Yeah.
winter is gonna come and it's gonna be horrible and you're gonna be like, I haven't been able to leave the house in 4 weeks, and like so it's really nice to be in LA for that time.
Yeah.
But it is a huge like disruption of our lives, a lot
Yeah.
of like work.
And you're really good at that. Like, you handle that transition very well. We've learned that I don't.
Yeah.
Like, I really need to be settled in a place. And so
Yeah.
the switching all the time, while, yeah, it's amazing and there's great benefits to it, I'm not good at handling it. And so,
Yeah. And then the house got broken into, which is like one of Shane's biggest fears, obviously like one of almost everybody's biggest fears, but especially Shane.
yeah, it's just complicated how I feel about it. And I love it here in Minnesota. I haven't done a proper winter in 5 years.
Yeah.
So I'm kind of almost looking forward to a proper winter. But the more we talk about it, the more we're like, maybe we should just like go back for one more winter, see how we feel there.
And it got cold here yesterday. It dropped to like 57 degrees. Crazy in the summer.
Middle of July.
And Shane was not happy. You were like, it's so cold. This is awful.
I was
like,
mad.
yeah, just you wait. But we will go back. Like we have a house there. We will go back. But probably not until the winter. So I would guess after the holidays. But
Yeah.
you never know if like there's a reason to go earlier, we'll probably be
Yeah.
there earlier. So
LA's been really good to us, other than the trespassers.
yeah.
So yeah, we'll see.
Yeah, we have friends there and we always like, I can't imagine. We would always go back. It's
I
just
know,
like-
yeah, there's so many great things about it.
Yeah.
Oh, I can't move from place to place.
I know.
All right, if they invent a high-speed train, well, no, if they implement
Implement.
a high-speed train that gets me there in a day or whatever.
Can we get a Eurostar, please?
Yeah, I would go to LA every other week.
I know.
It's just the travel to and from.
Yeah.
And having to, therefore, pack up our whole life for 6 months.
Yeah.
It's hard.
Well,
On that note,
we answered the questions for today.
we did. And please don't forget, if you have questions for us that you'd like us to answer
Yes.
next week, put them in the comments below. All right, everyone.
All right.
Have a happy Friday fun day back. Fun.
Fun day bag and see you on Monday.
Bye.